Hello, this is Viviane with Food and Style. Welcome to my kitchen, and today I'm going to talk about beets. The recipe that I will demonstrate is a spicy beet-green crostini. It's absolutely delicious, and I don't know about you, but when I was a child there was no way my mother could get me to eat beets. I mean, I associated them with things that were boiled for hours or things that came out of a can, and I would run a mile before I ate those. It took me a while as an adult to become passionate about beets and to really start create recipes for them. But now that I have done that for several years, I can tell you that there's not a single little morsel of the beet that I will not use, from green all the way down to the tip of its root. And I just want to talk a little bit about its history. It's one of the most ancient vegetables there is. Remains of it have been found in Neolithic sites in Netherlands, as well as in Egyptian tombs. And even the Romans loved it. They thought it had a lot of medicinal purposes. So believe it or not, it's related to the chard, the Swiss chard. It's the same family. And in ancient time, they didn't eat the root, which was not as large as the roots that we have today. The roots were a little puny. They actually ate only the greens. And it's a funny thing, because today most cooks buy the beets for the root and throw the greens in the garbage. So today we're going to focus on the greens, and the next video will focus on the roots. The first thing that you should look for when you buy beet is beautiful, healthy foliage and also a very firm root. There are many kinds of beets. They're white, pink, deep red, or in this case golden, and this is the beet that we are going to use today. So the first thing that we're going to do for the recipe is cut the greens off about a couple of inches above the root. We'll use the root in the next recipe. And we're going to julienne the leaves, so put them in a nice bundle, and with the knife slice them in about a 1/4 inch strips. Once you have done that, you can put it in a bowl. And we're going to need about 12 ounces of beet green for this recipe. So I will do another bunch. Alright, so here we have our beets. Now the next thing we're going to do is to chop some garlic. About 2 cloves. And when I remove the skin from the garlic, the one thing I want to mention is, there are 2 tips. This was attached to the root bulb, and you can chop that off, but don't chop the other end because it's perfectly good. So you're going to first slice it crosswise. Both cloves, and then you're going to finely chop it. Once that's done, you're going to put the garlic in a little bowl, so you have all your ingredients prepped up. And we're going to cook our greens. Alright, so we're ready to saute our greens, and the first thing I'm going to do is light the stove on high. You want to preheat your pan before you start putting anything in it. That's the rules about sauteing, and the way you know your pan is ready is by tapping the edge of it, and it should be nice and warm. So once your pan is hot, you're going to drizzle about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in it. This is just enough to coat the pan. Add your chopped garlic, and you should hear that nice sizzle. That's telling you that your pan is ready. And about half a teaspoon of chili pepper flakes. You're going to mix that, and you're going to cook it only for about 1 minute. Alright, so you see the garlic is nice and soft, but it is not browned. We definitely do not want it to be brown. We're going to add the the beet green, and with 2 spoons you're going to toss it like a salad. The good thing about beet greens is that they cook very fast and they are very, very tender. You want to toss and then leave them alone so that you give them a chance to cook, and then in about 30 seconds or so we'll toss it again, and you're going to repeat that until they're, you know, wilted. Oh, it's starting to smell good. As you see, our beet green are wilted and they're starting to turn dark green. So at this time we're going to put a little salt and a little more pepper, not too much because, as you know, we have the chili peppers in there. Toss well. And they are ready. We're going to move them here so they cool off just slightly. Meanwhile, we're going to be toasting our bread. So here we have some baguette slices cut on the diagonal like this, and we're going to put these in the broiler. We're going to broil them on both sides just a few seconds so that they are nicely toasted. So we're ready to assemble our crostini. Our bread has been toasted in the oven, and what I'm going to do is just putting a little bit of the greens on top of each crostini. I'm going to pick this up with my fingers a little bit. Then you're going to drizzle with a little of olive oil. This is just for the bread. And then you're going to set it on a little plate. I serve these as canapés or as appetizers. They're good either way. And I make each person their own little individual plates. Much easier to eat that way. As far as the wine is concerned for this, whether you're serving it as a canapé or as an appetizer or first course, I love to serve a Prosecco with this. It's a light Italian sparkler, very dry, very beautiful and crisp, and it will perfectly match the spiciness in the crust. So next video I'm going to be roasting these beautiful golden beets, so make sure you tune in. And for more recipes, you can go to my website, which is foodandstyle.com. Happy cooking and bon appétit!